Can I share something really personal with you? There is something that has been sitting on my heart for a long time, and today feels like the right moment to finally say it. I do not know exactly where you are right now. I do not know what kind of day you have had. I do not know whether you are smiling, struggling, hoping, or quietly carrying burdens that nobody else can see. But there is something I feel deeply compelled to tell you. You matter more than you realize, not because of what you achieve, not because of how much money you make, not because of your appearance, not because of your status, not because of what other people think about you. You matter because of who you are. I know that life has a way of making people forget that truth. It happens slowly. A disappointment here. A rejection there. A dream that did not work out. A relationship that changed. A promise that was broken. A goal that took longer than expected. Little by little, the world can convince someone that their worth is tied to their results. But that is not true. Your value existed before your successes. Your value remained during your failures. And your value will continue long after every temporary circumstance has passed. I wanted to tell you that because there may have been moments recently when you questioned yourself. Maybe you looked around and saw other people moving faster. Maybe you compared your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. Maybe you wondered if you were falling behind. Maybe you felt like everyone else had figured life out while you were still trying to understand your next step. If that sounds familiar, please hear this. You are not behind. You are on your own path. The journey you are walking was never meant to look exactly like anyone else's. And sometimes the greatest mistake people make is assuming that visible progress is the only kind of progress. It is not. Some of the most important growth happens where nobody can see it. The courage you build after heartbreak, the wisdom you gain through disappointment, the patience you develop while waiting, the resilience you create during difficult seasons, those things matter. In fact, they often matter more than the achievements people celebrate, because achievements can open doors. Character helps you walk through them. I also want to tell you something that many people need to hear but rarely do. You do not have to be perfect. You never did. Perfection is an impossible standard. No matter how hard someone tries, there will always be another goal, another expectation, another reason to feel like they are not enough. That cycle never ends. What changes everything is the moment you stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress. Progress is powerful. Progress is honest. Progress allows room for mistakes. Progress understands that growth is a process, not an event. Every step forward matters. Every lesson matters. Every effort matters. Even the small victories matter, especially the small victories, because those small victories often become the foundation for bigger transformations later. There is another personal truth I want to share with you. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who feel tired, not because they are weak, but because they have been carrying so much for so long. They keep showing up, they keep helping others, they keep encouraging people, they keep handling responsibilities, and after a while, they become so focused on taking care of everyone else that they forget to take care of themselves. If that describes you, then this message is also a reminder: you are allowed to rest, you are allowed to pause, you are allowed to breathe, you are allowed to protect your peace, you are allowed to say no, you are allowed to create boundaries, you are allowed to choose yourself sometimes. That is not selfish, that is healthy. You cannot pour endlessly from an empty cup. You cannot continue giving energy that you do not have. And you do not have to earn the right to rest. You are human. That is reason enough. I also believe there is something important happening in your life right now, even if you cannot see it clearly yet. Life often works quietly, while we are focused on what is not happening. Other things are forming beneath the surface: new opportunities, new perspectives, new relationships, new possibilities. Growth often happens invisibly before it becomes visible. Think about a seed planted in the ground. For a long time, it appears as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, everything is happening. Roots are developing. Strength is building. Preparation is taking place. Then one day, what was invisible becomes visible, and people call it sudden success. But it was never sudden. It was growing the entire time. Perhaps that is where you are right now. Perhaps there are roots developing beneath the surface of your current season. Perhaps the things you are learning today will become the reason you succeed tomorrow. Perhaps your story is still unfolding in ways you cannot yet understand. And if that is true, then do not give up on yourself too early. The future version of you is depending on the present version of you to keep going. One more thing. Please stop talking to yourself in ways you would never speak to someone you love. You deserve kindness from yourself. You deserve compassion from yourself. You deserve encouragement from yourself. Too many people become their own harshest critic. They forgive everyone except themselves. They encourage everyone except themselves. They believe in everyone except themselves. Imagine what would change if you started speaking to yourself with the same patience you offer others. Imagine how different life would feel if your inner voice became your ally instead of your enemy. You are not defined by your worst day. You are not defined by your biggest mistake. You are not defined by your fears. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by your willingness to continue. And that willingness is more powerful than you know. So if today feels difficult, keep going. If today feels uncertain, keep going. If today feels slow, keep going. If today feels lonely, keep going. Your story is not over. There are chapters ahead that you have not read yet. There are victories ahead that you have not experienced yet. There are moments ahead that will make you grateful you refuse to quit. And one day, you may look back at this season and realize that what felt like an ending was actually the beginning of something remarkable. Until then, trust the process. Trust your growth. Trust your strength. Trust your ability to rise again. Most importantly, trust that you are capable of far more than you currently believe. Because you are. And that is the personal truth I wanted to share with you today.